Hi, my name is Shimla Sharid and my register number is 015CSC56. So the aim of this experiment is to explore virtual LAN. So VLAN is generally of two types, that is inter VLAN and intra VLAN. So intra VLAN doesn't require a router in order to send and receive packets from one end device to the other, whereas inter VLAN requires a router, and hence we have encapsulated each of the end devices to different network addresses in order to send and receive the packets from one end device to the other. So as you can see, I've created three LAN networks which are connected to a single switch, which in turn is connected to a router. So in order to configure here you can see I've named each of these networks as admin, finance, and student with their VLAN address 10, 20, and 30. This will be configured later in the switch, but for now it is just named. So I click on one of the end device and I give the IP address as 10 in the 10 dot series. The subnet mask and a default gateway is given as 192.168.10.254 is given as the default gateway, which will be configured later in the router. So the same thing is done for each of these end devices, but different series of network, that is here 20 dot something and here 30 dot something series. So as you can see, each of the interface is connected to the switch has different names, that is FA is 1/1, 2/1, etc. So this is actually we'll see why it is given as such. So first I enable it and I configure it, and finally I use VLAN 10. So as you can see, it is changed to switch configure VLAN. So VLAN 10 network addresses can be configured using this, and I give a name called admin. So now this particular network gets named as admin, and the same thing is done for each of the end devices. Each of those networks with finance and students the same name, but here VLAN 20 and 30 should be changed according to their network address. So now after naming each of these network addresses, I give now here in the network series, in the 10 dot series, as you can see, each of the PC are connected to the interfaces FA1/1 and 2/1 to the switch. Now, in order to access these ports of the switches by the PCs, we give inter FA1/1, which is the PC 0 connected to the switch, and then I give switch port address, switch port mode access, and then I give switch port, and then I give switch port access VLAN 10. Now the same thing is done for FA2/1, which is also another end device of the 10 dot series connected to the switch. So this gives the port access to these end devices to the switches. The same thing is done for all of the end devices with their port for them to access the switch. So I've already configured it, and hence I'm just going to go for next we configure the router. So actually as you can see, the interface so FA0/1 is the interface in which the router is connected. So here we give inter FA0/1, and then I give the command switch port mode access, and then I give switch port mode trunk. So as you can see, the state is changed to up. So this gives the access to the router to connect to the switch itself. Now next is the configuring of the router. Now I go to the CLI command and I enable the router, configure it, and then I give inter FA0/0 because that is the port of router, and then I give no shutdown. Okay, so this is the basic thing that has to be done. So I go forth with interfacing each of the networks. So give enter fa0/0 .10. So this command is given in order for each of those end devices of that particular network to connect to the router, because if the switch cannot directly send the packet from one end device to the other. So since it's an inter VLAN, the packet has to be sent to the router first, and then the router configures the address of the receiver end device, and sends it back to the receiver. So this is very crucial. Without this, I don't think the packets will be transferred from one device to the other. So we give it, and then we give the command encapsulation .1q10, and then I give IP address 192.168.10.254. So hit 255.255.255.0. So this is nothing but the IP address with the default gateway along with the subnet mask of each of the end devices with their networks. So then so this command is normally done for every single network, so that each of those the end devices are encapsulated under the VLAN 10, and the IP address is given as the IP address along with the IP address with the subnet mask and the default gateway is given, so that each of the end device, when a packet is sent from one end device, it goes to the router, it configures the receiver end, and then it sends to the receiver itself. So the same thing is done for every single network addresses. So here I have done only for VLAN 10, because it should be done for both 20 and 30. So since I have already done it, I go forth with it, and I go to the simulation mode, and I send a package from one end to the other end device. I capture forward it. So as you can see, the packet is successfully sent from one end device to the other end device using with the help of the router. So this is virtual LAN network experiment, and thank you.